In terms of psychotherapy, what have been what people or what approaches have been your main influences?
Mhm. I really integrate the two major streams of depth psychology. So the contemporary psychoanalytic approaches, relational approaches, as well as the humanistic existential approaches.
Yeah,
I have a
yeah,
lot of training in Gestalt, focusing existential psychotherapy, as
yes,
well as self psychology, and this whole new relational paradigm.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I really try to
I've
bring those two together, the relational and the
right.
somatic, um, humanistic.
Yeah, yeah, excellent. Now, is there? I'm sure that our listeners, viewers, will be wondering, well, geez, do I have to take 40 pills a day to to
Yeah.
get on board with this stuff, or
No.
what's the minimal,
Yeah. Yeah.
or yeah, what's do you have a kind of basic package?
Yeah. Yeah. I list sort of the top 10 in the book. And I
Okay,
think it's worth starting off with that and sort of seeing how it goes. It's a very individual thing for each person.
yeah,
Each person's anxiety, each person's depression, each person's cognitive decline, it's a very specific thing. There's a unique body, heart, mind, spirit signature to each of these, meaning to each of these.
yeah,
And so, what each brain needs to heal is very individual. And so, there's a lot of just experimentation that's needed. Some people can't do some of these. I can't do some of these supplements because it makes me speedy or it makes me jittery or my body just doesn't react to it well. So,
yeah,
all the things that are necessarily good for the brain, I can't do. And I think that's true with everybody. So, we just do the things that feel right to us, that feel good, and
yeah.
which it seems like it's having an effect. Things are feeling better over time.
Well, I want to let people know that I've kind of chosen to direct you towards the biological nutritional part of your book, and there's a lot of psychological interventions that are discussed and recommendations and so on in the book as well. So as we begin to kind of wind down here, I wonder if there's a final message you'd like to leave our audience with.
Well, I think it would be that our brains are a sense of self, but our brains in particular are capable of functioning at a much higher level than we think they are. Most people are operating at a lower level without really realizing it because you adapt to it and you don't really know that you are functioning on a lower level, except you maybe feel more anxious, more prone to depression, you're not remembering things as well. Um, you just don't feel as much. You may have brain fog. You may not feel as much just vitality and zip in life. But that when the brain gets at a higher level, you realize, oh my God, I was operating at 90% and missing the best 10% of life.
Yeah,
I think Dickens was right? It was the best of times and it was the worst of times. It's never been a worse time for the brain and the self. It's never been a better time either because we now know more about how to optimize brain functioning than we ever have. We also know how to work with healing the early traumas and woundings of the self in order to create a more integrated, coherent, cohesive self. And so I think that this is a time when we can live at a much higher level than our ancestors ever did, but we are actually living at a lower level for most people than we need to. And that is behind, I think, this huge mental health epidemic that we are seeing.